Been another year, so let's look at how the channel's doing. We are sitting at 11,974 subscribers at the moment that we're recording this video. We're gonna step through a bunch of different metrics. As I said last year, Google doesn't have any rolling averages, so what we've done is we've rounded things to months. Don't love that. Months are different sizes, so it kind of messes the data up a little bit. It's still better than us looking at the daily data. So for this data, we are going to compare directly to 1 year in the past. That was the first year of the channel. This is the second year of the channel. Going forward, it's possible that I'll move this into January and just do it on the calendar year. But this would have been a little bit misleading this time because we would have been comparing 2022 to 2021, and the channel didn't start until February of 2021. This is the second full year of the channel. Going forward, we'll probably move to calendar years, but that's what we're going to do this year. Blue represents the year that just ended, and purple represents the year before. First, some good news. The number of views on the channel up by about 50%. 318,000 views this previous year versus 198,000 the year before. This is due to a couple of pieces of content that went really well. The alpha content was a big one, but also we did the Dragon Age Inquisition memories and lessons. And also, just as the channel gets more mature, the number of returning viewers has been steadily climbing. So we're getting more and more views as we go. Similarly, when we look at watch hours, we have a massive increase here. We went from 16,000 to almost 46,000. So we have almost triple the number of view hours. This is anchored in large part on the Dragon Age Inquisition memories and lessons, because that's a long video that got a lot of views. Even though the average view percentage isn't super high on that video, it's so long that even if you're watching 25% of it, you're still watching more than you're watching of most of the other videos on the channel. Compare that to the year before, where the most viral piece of content was the Bioware Magic video, which is fairly short. It got a lot of view hours only because of its massive numbers of views. The video itself isn't very long. So when you compare those two videos, which have about the same number of views, in fact, Bioware Magic has more views, what you see is that the Dragon Age Inquisition over 7,000 watch hours versus 1,600 for Bioware Magic. That just comes down to length of video. My videos have gotten more consistent in length. I have less under 4-minute videos. So overall, just the amount of content that's being consumed on my channel has steadily gone up. And here, it's a combination of more views and longer view duration leads to a massive increase of how many hours are viewed on my channel. From this point on, we'll start to see something that isn't quite so rosy as those first two pieces of data. Videos are getting more views, people are watching longer, but my number of new subscribers went down quite a bit. The first year of the channel, 7,500, almost 7,600 new subscribers. Only just over 4,000 subscribers in this previous year. Been reported by other people that 2022 was just kind of rough for subscribers. That could be the case. That could be just that I got a big influx of attention in the early days. But what you can see is that even every single month, except for November, which is when the biggest content of this previous year launched, every single month, the first year of the channel is beating this previous year of the channel, except for the month with the Dragon Age Inquisition content. And then the last month, which is when the Bioware Magic video release, just smashes this current year to smithereens. So I don't think you can put it down to simply being new people coming in when the channel is new and fresh, because this trend lasts for the whole 12 months pretty much. So I'm not entirely sure what it is. Maybe it's YouTube saturation. Maybe I've found most of the audience that I'm going to find, and this is a channel that's never going to make it to 50,000 subscribers even. I don't know right now, but it is a little disheartening that basically about half as many people joined the channel in the previous year than did the year before. Similarly, with members, who are where most of my money come from, and we'll get into money in just a minute, same thing. Less than a third the number of new members last year than the year before. And that's not even taking into account the fact that I didn't even have memberships in the first year of the channel until right here into July of the first year, even still, it's 3 times as many new members. Couple of things going on here. The people who are core, really enthusiastic members of the channel, they all joined in the first year and they've stayed around. Also, there's churn here as well. So as more members come on, the number of members who leave also starts to climb. And essentially, the channel has largely been in a close to steady state for a long time, where the number of members it gains in a month is only slightly higher or sometimes even lower than the number it loses. So the number of members has been very static for quite a long time on the channel. And I think that might be the reality of memberships and Patreon support and things like that, where a channel or an outlet will reach a steady state, and it's only when they step up into a new tier of reach that changes very significantly. Average view duration gone up significantly between the 2 years. I think this is largely just a reflection of the fact that I am making content that is on average longer than it was before. I cover a higher level topic typically in a video, not digging down into the minutia as much. That just simply means that there are longer videos on average on the channel. And what you'll see is when we actually look at the view retention percentage, so what percentage of the video is being watched, it was 30% in the first year, below 25% in this previous year. Neither of these numbers super great, but the fact that we've actually gone down in percentage and gone up on average view duration pretty strongly underlines the fact that this is coming from longer videos being watched for longer, even though less of the video overall is being watched. Some of this also coming from the fact that the last 35, 45 seconds of a video are my membership thanks, and my retention in those last little bit just fall off a cliff as people stop watching in the last little bit. That's something that's new that wasn't there for the first part of the first year of the channel. That's part of it as well, because if you lose the last 45 seconds of viewership on your 10-minute video, that's a big chunk out of your viewership right there, simply by changing the format of the video. I was quite surprised by the change in click-through rate, because I actually changed the way I was doing titles and the way that I was doing thumbnails in the previous year, and I thought I'd actually turned a corner here. But looking at the data, it actually looks like things have gotten worse, not better. I actually think that maybe that's a little misleading, because the click-through rate was really good in the first month of the channel, because again, novelty, and then has declined since then. But it is a little disheartening to see that I kind of haven't moved the needle significantly at all. And if anything, it's actually gotten worse. I thought that we'd actually learned something and that my thumbnails and titles were better. I guess this remains to be fixed, and I need to keep on it, because I actually thought I was in the ones in the first year of the channel, but it turns out, nope, 2.5 was where we sat in the first year, and we've actually gone down to just over 2. Keep working, we'll keep trying to figure this out. So now we'll move on to the part of this video that if you clicked on it and you're not a member of my channel, you're most interested in, which is money, money, money. Let's find out how much the channel made. This was consistently better. Channel only monetized halfway through the first year, so obviously to some degree. Channel made $4,800, and every month is consistently better than the months of the first year. Even this month here at the end, which is the Bioware Magic video, it's consistently better. Even my worst month is $329. And the Bioware Magic month made $335, so a little bit better than my worst month. But here you see what I was talking about with the channel being somewhat stagnant. The amount of money being made by the channel quite consistent, climbing very, very ever so slowly, but not really going up very much, being quite flat. And that's largely driven by members, because if you look here, out of that $4,800, $3,800 was made entirely through direct contributions from fans, fan funding. So that's super thanks and super chat and super stickers, but it's mostly 95% of it is coming from memberships. So if you are a member, thank you, because you are responsible for 77% of the revenue of this channel. And if you look year over year, that percentage has actually gone up. In the first year, it was only 69%. In part because we had one very viral video that made a fair amount of money, in part because the memberships lagged behind the turning the ads on by a month or two. We are driven by you. This channel exists because of the funding that comes from you, and most of that comes from memberships. But as I said, memberships numbers have been only very slowly climbing and sometimes going down. And as a result, the revenue the channel makes has been very flat. So if you want to support the channel, the easiest and best way for me is for you to become a member. If you are a member at the second or third tier of the channel, you get to see videos early, and all members of the channel get access to the Discord, so you can come and hang out with me and chat. So other sources of revenue, I have an Amazon affiliate link. The first year of the channel, I made $10. The second year of the channel, I made a big fat $0. I'm actually kind of surprised that Amazon hasn't canceled my Amazon affiliate status yet. One of the things that's laid out in their terms of service is that you have to make sales on some regular cadence, and they reserve the right to basically take it away from you. It's not really appropriate for the channel, as it turns out. I haven't done a lot of videos that have been pushing to sell things. I did a video reviewing different business books, which did just terribly and didn't result in any Amazon affiliate click-through anyway. My best performing Amazon affiliate links were ones when I were pushing people towards buying Patrick Weeks' book Feeder. So, buy that, but I'm not even going to put an affiliate link down below. But the other thing that we added in the last year was merch. I'm wearing the 2DA Forever shirt, which is one of my favorites, but maybe not super mainstream. This made some money. In fact, I'll show it to you now. For as long as this has been around, it's made $273, which isn't a ton. It's about 5% of the total money that the channel made. But it's interesting because if you add that into the amount of money that the channel made from YouTube itself, $48.64 plus $273, that's enough to push us over $5,000. So that's kind of cool. So for me, 2022 was kind of rough for the channel. It didn't grow in the way that I expected. Crossing 10,000 subscribers didn't change the way the channel performed. I was kind of expecting it to. I was expecting it to trigger bits of the algorithm potentially and cause the channel to be pushed a little bit more widely. That didn't really happen. So the channel is maybe not plateauing, but it's growing at a slower rate than it was. Maybe this will serve as the basis of the data for the channel going forward. Maybe the first year of a channel is misleading because you got a lot of novelty. I had a strong social media presence coming into YouTube, so a lot of people came along with me. So maybe this will serve as the basis, and then we can see how we're doing going forward from here. I'm not sure. Thank you for hanging out with me for a second year on this channel. Hard to believe that we're still around. And obviously, if people weren't watching the videos, there would be little point in me continuing to make them. A special thanks to my members. As I said, they provide the resources that this channel needs to keep running. If you're interested in becoming a member, there's a link to that down in the description. There also is merch. There is a shelf below the video where you can pick something up. What are some pieces of data from my channel that you're interested in and would like to see in this kind of video going forward? How's your channel doing? You run your own YouTube channel? What are you seeing in the trends of YouTube and the vagrancies of the YouTube algorithm? Let me know down in the comments. I will see you again soon. Thank you.